Okay, my country's flag is on the moon. I have no idea what 30 degrees Celsius is, so then you gotta get on Google again, you gotta...
What the f*** is a kilometer?
First on the moon, first to declare independence from Britain. USA, USA.
Yo, what's up, honkers? Today, me and Azu are going to be reacting to the Fat Files talking about how Europeans don't have AC units and how a lot of them are suffering and unfortunately passing away due to the heat. I know that in some of y'all's comments and stuff, you've already kind of talked about this a little bit, where some of you literally can't, whether that be because local governments not letting you or just landlords not allowing you to for whatever reason. That, and apparently they are very, very, very expensive over there. Anyway, today's secret word is AC. If you comment the secret word in the comments down below, I will give your comment a heart. Alright, let's get right into today's video. So, this is about AC in Europe and how they don't have the greatest invention in the 20th century. I mean, they do. They do have the AC units. It's just very expensive over there. People have been literally scalping it. It's literally like trying to get RAM for a computer, but instead, it's something that helps keep you alive.
I'm just gonna come out and say it. The Europeans are apparently making window cheese, and you're gonna have to stick around if you want to know what that means.
What the fuck is window cheese?
You stick some milk in your windowsill and you just kind of sit there and watch it curdle.
The only thing I can think is like, you know, whenever those like old caulk things that people would like do.
I know a lot about old caulk.
Also,
What?
you know what I mean? Like the caulk
What?
guns.
My dad used
or
to do a lot of work around the... I know what I talk about. My dad used to do a lot of work around the house.
But then he went to go get the milk.
He went to get the milk so we could make more window cheese. He didn't come back.
Today we're talking about the most important invention of the 20th century, air conditioning. Okay, I know what you're thinking. That's a pretty big claim. We came up with a lot of important stuff in the 20th century.
It's pretty important,
That is true.
dude.
However, air conditioning is the most important one. I'm going to prove it, and then I'm going to relentlessly talk smack about Europeans the entire time right after word from my sponsor. This video is brought to you by Supremacy World War III. It is a free-to-play online PvP military-based strategy.
I don't think it's fair to like drag Europeans through the water through this shit. Like, I don't know, man.
If they have the ability to get air conditioning and they decide not to get air conditioning and then they complain about it being hot, I think it's fair to make fun of them.
I agree that if they're trying not to get one and it's hot as shit, then you know, you stupid. I've been told in many a comment that it's literally they can't get one. They want to get one. They can't.
I'm sure in some places that is the case.
Because the country they're in literally don't let them, or their land, like their what do you call it? Not landowner. Yeah, their landlord won't let them. Or like, we can't find any that aren't like ridiculously overpriced. Which, a window unit here is like $200. Apparently over there, those are like 12,000, like 1,200 or something. Like, it's actually insane.
All right, why are we even talking about air conditioning right now? Okay, if you're not chronically on the internet like myself, A, good for you, but B, let me fill you in real quick. Every June or July, there's a magical time of year where the British experience a heat wave. There's newspaper articles,
heat wave.
There's British and European people getting on the internet
talking shit. It's not a heat wave, it's just summer.
No, bro.
It happens every year.
No, yes, however, over there it's getting worse and worse and worse. Apparently over there, they're getting up to 40 degrees Celsius now, which is fucking insane.
Make one giant AC unit and put it outside. Cool down the whole country. Problem solved.
No, I did hear that they did like a thing in London. They were like, this is a cooling zone, and they had like the fire crews or whatever, spraying water and stuff. 34 isn't hot, Jerry. I die at 25. What is 98 degrees in Celsius?
That would be like 36, 37, 38, somewhere in that area.
That's about the heat that we usually get to.
about how the Americans just don't understand a British heat wave. We couldn't possibly survive, yada, yada, yada. So then I get on there, I'm competitive, they're talking smack. It's like, okay, I mean, how hot is it over there? Never been there. Maybe it is super hot. I have no idea. So then you look into it and all the headlines are like, the British heat wave has reached over 30 degrees Celsius for the fifth day in a row.
30 degrees. Oh, the drama. Oh.
Join the rest of the human race.
Okay, my country's flag is on the moon. I have no idea what 30 degrees Celsius is, so then you got to get on Google again. You got to.
What the fuck is a kilometer?
On the moon. First on the moon. First to declare independence from Britain. USA. USA.
Were we actually the first to declare independence?
We are the first of like 50 something or 60. How many? Let me see.
There was a lot of colonies.
Countries on Independence Day from Britain. 65 countries.
Wow.
USA.
Ask it what 30
That's one of my
Celsius.
favorite memes.
Also, what's fucked is we demanded independence because of taxes, and now we're taxed even more now than we were then. Yippee!
We need to go throw the Roombas in the harbor.
The Roombas!
No idea what 30 degrees Celsius is, so then you got to get on Google again. You got to ask it what 30 degrees Celsius is, converted into Fahrenheit, the superior way of measuring temperature. It's like 86 degrees, and these people are acting like they're melting. Buh! Actually, Celsius is better because it's a metric system. You know, that measurement system the entire world uses except for you guys. It's obviously the best. Buh! No, it isn't. It doesn't even make sense. Okay, Fahrenheit is the easiest concept on the planet. 0 is cold, 100 is hot, based on the human experience.
Yeah,
the end.
makes sense.
Celsius, on the other hand, is based on the freezing and boiling point of water, which doesn't even make sense because the freezing and boiling point of water.
Whenever you go outside, you have to bring a glass of water with you and ask, "How do you feel?"
It's a little too stupid. I don't understand why the rest of the world uses Celsius. I don't know if it's just because, because we use the metric system, and that's the metric system. I will say metric system is better for distances.
Oh yeah, I like kilometers.
Kilometers?
I don't like Celsius. I like kilometers.
Better. Way better than miles.
I will give you that victory and that victory only.
It's like over here, we don't even know how many feet goes into a mile, dude, because it's like some obscure ass number, 5, like 2,000.
5,280.
Yeah, and instead, people are like, "Oh, football fields. It's this many football fields long." It's like we're going back to like measuring things with objects and concepts rather than. Actual measurements. Anyway.
Because the freezing and boiling point of water isn't a constant, it depends on like 20 other variables, including altitude. Okay, when somebody asks you, how hot is it outside? Nobody's asking you, how does a glass of water at sea level feel about the temperature outside? No,
that's what I'm saying. Literally.
Hey, Jim, you want to go down to the pub for a cuppa? Oh, sorry, mate. Let me just grab my bowl of water and ask how it feels about the weather today.
We're gonna piss off so many people with this video.
Get mad.
To wear shorts? Do I need to bring baby powder? Is monkey butt a potential hazard? These are the questions I want to know. I don't give a fuck how water feels about it.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. Anyways, this happens every year. The Europeans get on the internet, they complain about a heat wave, 86 degrees, they pretend like they're melting, they say the Americans don't understand, we couldn't possibly survive a British heat wave, yada, yada, yada. Well, this year, something amazing happened. The FIFA World Cup is in America.
Oh boy. I feel like he's going to talk about how the people that are coming over to the US to watch the games, they're like, fuck, it's hot. It's way hotter. But y'all got AC. Y'all don't understand. We don't got that over there.
So a bunch of
JJ, you make a good point.
We're
like 60% water and we have a ton of microplastics.
They are, in fact, just being giant pansy asses about the entire situation. At which point the Europeans realized that they were wrong, they admitted defeat, and we all moved on. I'm just kidding. The Europeans pivoted, they moved the goalposts, and then the entire conversation became about air conditioning. Okay, I have no idea because I'm an American, and to be honest with you, I don't give a fuck about European politics, but apparently the British and the French are like morally and mentally just adamantly opposed to air conditioning to the point that it is literally
why someone needs to explain to me why they aren't allowed in the UK and in France. Some people were saying, oh, you literally can't get it zoned or whatever. Is it just because it's like unsightly on the side of the house, or is it like an environmental thing? Because if it's an environmental thing, I'm sorry, but the planet's gonna get hotter, dude. People are gonna be dying. It's not gonna be happy. Not gonna be good.
A humongous political debate over there right now, and the right wing and the left wing over in France is literally divided on air conditioning. Air conditioning in France.
I'm pretty sure more people die from heat stroke than guns.
Hold on a minute. Did I just hear that right? Did he just say that AC units are right wing?
Yeah, that's what people are trying to say. It's just like how a few years back, a bunch of feminists were putting in news articles, it is actually sexist to have air conditioning. Air conditioning is sexist because women are colder than men. So we have to wear clothes. Oh my goodness. I can't believe this.
I refuse to believe that on the principle of I want to remain sane.
Divided on air conditioning. Air conditioning in France is right-wing technology.
That's insane.
I'm not exaggerating. And me, with how my brain works, now I have to know the history of air conditioning. So, from the top. The first modern air conditioner was invented in 1902 by an engineer by the name of
Wow, that's really early. I thought it was
Carrier
like
was hired by a publishing company to come in and solve a problem. The problem this publishing company had was that when they were trying to print things in summer, the heat and humidity was causing fluctuations in the paper and the printing process, giving them an inconsistent product that they weren't happy with. So it
was a manufacturing issue that actually caused us to be able to have like decent housing.
Yeah, it's not just being comfortable in your own homes. Think about it, because it's also used in hospitals to keep people healthier, to make operating procedures better. And then also you do have the home thing to make you more comfortable in your own home, to improve the quality of sleep.
Gets hired to come in and figure out a way to make their product more consistent while they're printing in summer. And his first option is, obviously, I'm just going to change the environment. I'm going to make it a constant. I'm going to get rid of the heat and the humidity so it's no longer a factor. Then we can tune the machines once and we can print away because it's always going to be the same temp and the same humidity in the factory. Okay, pause. I need you to understand, as a person in 2026 that's grown up with like modern technology, this sounds obvious, like duh, just do that. But at the time in 1902, Homeboy literally came out of left field and is like, clearly, I just have to change the rules of physics. I have to change the entire world around me so this works. I'm literally gonna attempt to domesticate the fucking wind so I can print books. Okay, do you understand how insane that is?
It's kind of crazy if you really think about it.
Design an airplane, we're like, fucking, we'll just turn off gravity.
I am taking nature captive and there's nothing you can do to stop me.
But somehow this guy manages to do it, fixes the printing problem, sees the potential, patents the idea, patents the phrase air conditioning, and then he goes and creates the Carrier Air Conditioning Company, which is still around today. It has like over 50,000 employees.
I don't know what type of AC unit I even have outside, but I think it's a General Electric one.
And is worth over $20 billion. So air conditioning is like primarily used in these factory type settings. In 1914, there are some people starting to get air conditioners in their homes, but it's extremely rare. By the early 1930s, they are starting to have like commercial air conditioning units that you can put in a home, but they cost like $10,000, which in 1932, convert that to today's money, it's almost like $250,000 for a window air conditioning unit. But people were willing to pay it because if you got the money, not having ball sweat is priceless.
It's pretty nice.
Oddly enough, you can make the argument that air conditioning is actually responsible for movies, TV, and Hollywood as a whole. Because outside of manufacturing, one of the first industries to adopt air conditioning is movie theaters. Which makes so much sense because I cannot tell you how many times I've been shown like, oh, this is a silent film from 19 whatever the fuck, and oh, it was so funny.
You don't understand how much heat
Nobody was going to movie theaters in the 1920s, the 1930s, the 1940s because they enjoyed watching silent films. They were going because that was the only place they could go to get air conditioning.
Oh, they were legitimately advertising. Wow, that's crazy.
Catching on.
And get out of the heat for 2 hours. You can actually go back and read accounts from people at the time where they're like, yeah, no, we don't go to the movie theater because we give a shit about the movie. We just go so we can go there to cool off. So in a way, it's pretty likely, or at least you could argue that if it wasn't for air conditioning, the film industry as we know it today might not exist. Regardless, movie theaters were a lot of people's first encounter with air conditioning, and once they saw it, they're like, holy shit, this is awesome. I want to get it inside my house. But from here, the cost of air conditioners actually plummets because it's something that everybody can use and everybody wants. It's just like TVs. When I was a kid growing up, a flat screen TV was like $12,000. It was some absurd.
It's simple. It's simple supply and demand. The more people want something, the more that like the supply will eventually increase, which means that the price will go down because there's more of it. It makes sense. But the TVs thing, do y'all remember whenever getting like a TV was like over $1,000, and now you can get like a 48-inch flat screen smart TV for like less than $200 at Walmart? That's like not the best TV, but you can watch YouTube on it and it connects to the internet.
Absurd amount of money, and today I can go to Walmart and buy a 70-inch flat screen TV that's better than those TVs when I was growing up for like $400. So air conditioning got incredibly cheap, incredibly fast when you compare it to pretty much anything else, and by the 1950s they were starting to have literal experiments that they would call air-conditioned villages. Basically, they were new housing developments where all these new homes had air conditioning in them, and they actually had psychologists and scientists go in, and the families that bought these homes volunteered to be studied for over a year to see the impacts of living in an air-conditioned climate in your home and how it would affect you. People had no idea what would happen. Would they go crazy? Would they not be able to handle going outside anymore? These were all huge unknowns at the time.
I feel like they would just be like, they wouldn't want to leave. That would probably be like the first thing that would probably happen, right?
You want to know what the psychologists and the scientists concluded about living in air conditioning? It's pretty fucking awesome, okay? They found out that everybody slept better, and they also found out that the housewives were reporting back to the psychologists that their husbands, and I quote, had a better disposition, aka their husbands weren't as fucking grumpy all the time. You can literally go back and read the articles. We'll read one right now. Headline, air conditioning helps with disposition. Women living in air-conditioned homes in Austin, Texas, the air-conditioned village, startled a team of psychologists and researchers by asserting their husbands' dispositions had somehow miraculously improved under the influence of air conditioning. Hey, when you're not hot, you're not grumpy. Fucking shocking, I know. Oddly enough, statistical data collected by these researchers indicated that indoor conditions within these homes could be conducive to support this opinion of these air-conditioned housewives. Reading newspapers from the 50s is crazy because it's just like, well, the housewives are saying their husbands are in the better mood, but them bitches are crazy. We can't trust them. We need empirical data to prove their opinion might be correct.
That's insane.
But even more strongly indicated is the likely possibility that the women themselves, as a result of enjoying the comforts of air conditioning, were able to look upon their spouses with a little more than usual benevolence.
That's insane. That they were refused to like take the women's fucking word for it, and they were like, oh, well, the only reason they say that is because they're having a better time too. And I'm like, the times that they lived in, 1930s. Wow.
Okay, translation, mom and dad are both in a better mood because nobody's sweating their ass off all day, obviously. Okay, just so we're all on the same page, if you're not picking up on a put down so far, air conditioning might be responsible for the entire film industry, TV as we know it today. It helps keep families together, and that's just scratching the surface on why it's the most important invention of the 20th century. Just to prove my point, let's have a thought exercise. I asked Google, completely blind. I had some guesses because I know a little bit about history, but I just went in blind and asked Google, what are the most important inventions of the 20th century? Let's see what they came up with. So coming in at number one, we have the transistor, obviously extremely important, but the mass manufacturing of transistors is
the internet's pretty important too.
Because in order to manufacture a transistor, you need purified air, humidity control, and temperature control, all of which are provided by air conditioning. So no air conditioning, no mass manufacturing of transistors. One more point. Coming in at number two, the internet, okay? Internet also can't exist without AC because the internet is run off of a bunch of server farms, which also need to be in a climate-controlled environment. You ever been inside of a server room? Pretty cold, pretty...
I have been inside of a server farm. Those server farms are not cold. They try to keep them cold. They're hot. Most of the times, it is hot as shit in those rooms.
Purified air, can't have it without air conditioning. Coming in at number three, penicillin, obviously incredibly important. The world's first antibiotic, saved tens, if not hundreds of millions of lives since it was invented. And you know what? Would it exist without air conditioning? Almost certainly. However, would you be able to mass manufacture it to the degree that we do today as safely as we do without air conditioning?
I don't know.
Absolutely
I don't think it could.
Number four, mass production of automobiles. Could that exist without air conditioning? Yes, it could. However, if you look at where most cars are manufactured, Texas, Tennessee, Alabama, Mexico, Mexico, none of those places would be able to crank out cars to the degree that they do without air conditioning because you would have workers dropping out from heat stroke.
Yeah.
In fact, most of the major cities in America that are in a hotter climate, like, I don't know, Las Vegas, Phoenix, Dallas, Houston, Orlando, Atlanta, all of which would probably exist to some degree if it wasn't for air conditioning, but air conditioning
they wouldn't be as big as they are
into major metropolitan areas. It's literally a saying, air conditioning made Phoenix possible. And last but not least, the airplane. Now, would the Wright brothers have strapped some wings to a bicycle, drove it off a cliff, and figured out how to fly? Absolutely.
Yeah,
Is
they definitely
commercial
would.
flight without air conditioning as we know it today possible? Absolutely not. The inside of that cabin on that plane would be 400 degrees if it wasn't for air conditioning. So yes, air conditioning is the most important invention of the 20th century. Which raises a question, why the fuck don't the Europeans just use it? And the answers to that question might be the most infuriating answers to a question I've ever gotten in my entire life. Answer number 1. Europeans don't need air conditioning because the climate isn't as hot as America. Now, setting aside the fact that that proves
it was maybe. Like, I don't know, man. Even at 85, it's still hot. Like, it's bearable, right? But it's not like, oh yeah, I'm definitely super comfortable.
The initial point that America is hotter and we could survive a British heat wave. We'll just set that off to the side real quick. The Europeans say shit like, well, we wouldn't run them that often and we would only need them for like 1 month a year. Cool. Do you know how much shit I own that I don't need very often? I've had a spare tire in every car I've ever owned my entire life. I've never had to use it. I've still fucking got it just in case. If there was something that I only needed to use 30 days a year to make sure my balls weren't hot while I was trying to sleep, you best believe I'm gonna fucking own it.
Like, dude, it's the same thing of like, oh, well, I only use my panini press like maybe like 30 times a year. Brother, it's still nice to have. It's also like the same thing with like, yeah, exactly, with insurance, with car insurance. I only crash once every like couple of years. You still need it. Now, granted, where I live, it's illegal if you don't have it. If you don't have insurance on your car, they will actually give you a ticket. And yeah.
Europeans are tougher than you Americans. We'll just grit our teeth and bear it. Are you? Are you really? Because last I checked, 175,000 fucking people died from heat stroke because you're too fucking stupid to buy an air conditioner. Do you understand how insane that is? If there was any other event on the planet that killed 175,000 people, there would be memorials and statues commemorating what a tragedy this was. But because it's just you guys being like, well, the Americans invented a machine that can domesticate wind, but we don't want to admit they're right, so we would rather let all our young and elderly die of heat stroke than give them the W.
That's insane.
What are you doing? Okay, which leads right into the next argument, the most infuriating one because I used to build shit for a living. Americans don't understand because our homes are actually built to retain heat, so an air conditioner wouldn't work as well for us.
Do they not realize that we have insulation in our houses that does the same fucking thing? It also retains
they
cold.
I think it's just paper.
You guys have houses made of paper? No, we don't. It's made of wood. And because the thing is where I live, it is cheaper to have the houses built like this because it is much harder to rebuild a stone house than a wood house, okay?
We typically build with wood framing, block or concrete foundation, anchor bolts, a stud wall, rafters, and sheathing. Installing electrical and plumbing is easier in stud walls. It's much harder in block wall.
It's also easier to make additions onto a wood house than a brick house or a stone house. All you have to do is make the cuts.
Fucker, that's just insulation. That's how insulation works, okay? Do you have a thermos? If you put hot tea or whatever stupid shit you guys drink in a thermos, you know how it stays hot? Now dump it out and put fucking ice water in it. The ice water stays cold, okay? Your house isn't specifically designed to be hot inside. It's designed to have a controlled temperature regardless of what's going on outside. So if you buy an air conditioner and you cool off the house, it stays fucking cool. Well, air conditioning's really expensive.
Thank you.
No, it isn't. You can buy a window unit for $169
It's okay. Listen, it's $169 here. Over there, apparently the supply is limited. People like scalpers and stuff are actually like fucking with people. Like I think they're like 3 times that amount over there.
cool off the room that you sleep in or your living room or whatever, okay? The average minimum wage of Europe is $8.33 American. That's 20 hours of the most unskilled labor that you have available in exchange for a magic box that domesticates the fucking wind so you don't have to sweat your balls off. Okay, that is a modern miracle, and you're saying that that's too expensive? I would pay an outrageous amount of money to see a British person go back in time and talk to one of their ancestors, some medieval peasant picking turnips outside of a castle, and explain to them that in the future, there's a magical box that can make the house cold when it's hot outside. And in exchange for that, all they had to do was work 20 hours and they could cool off their house for years upon years to come, and then explain to them with deadpan stare, but I don't do it because it's expensive.
It's not that it's as expensive. I don't know if how true it is of like, oh, it's expensive for this, it's just doing this. The power for it is expensive. Okay, if you only have to run the AC for 1 month a year, it is not that bad. And sometimes it's life or death. I'm just saying, for some of the people that have died, 175,000. It's a lot of fucking people dying from heat stroke. Oh, so you want an Oreo? Then go to it. Fuck off, Gary.
I just had Oreo ice cream. Frick you.
Well, one of your fucking teeth are hurting, you dumbass.
I know why it's hurting. I'm dealing with the consequences. Look. Here's the difference between me and a European. I know what's causing the issue. I'm dealing with the consequences and actively trying to fix it.
Motherfucker, it's literally magic to these people. You have the opportunity to buy climate-changing...
Why are you licking his tummy? What are you doing? What the frick?
Okay, I'm licking the cat back. Like when a dog is getting aggressive, you just bite its ear.
It's literally magic to these people. You have the opportunity to buy climate-changing magic for 20 hours of your time, and you're just like, nah, I'd rather let grandma and grandpa die from heat stroke. I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm slowly coming around to the idea that this is actually a conspiracy by the European
gotta get my
governments.
inheritance somehow.
True, actually.
Honest with you, I'm slowly coming around to the idea that this is actually a conspiracy by the European governments to slowly kill off old people so they don't break their universal healthcare system. There's no other logical explanation for
that
why
actually makes a lot of sense.
conditioning. And apparently one of the big talking
I think
points
they're just
is,
trying to kill off their entire
for climate change, so it's only making the problem worse. And then the climate activists get on CNN or the BBC or whatever, and they're giving interviews offering alternatives to air conditioning that you could do. I'm going to show you, because if I didn't show you the interview, you wouldn't believe me.
The only things I can think that they would do that's different is they would probably just be like, open a window. This guy's a little off the handle, but it's spitting facts. I mean, he's spitting facts, but I don't think he understands the full picture. But at the same time, maybe he doesn't care about the full picture. You know?
Solutions get progressively worse, but we're going to go ahead and start off with their best solution. Solution number one.
If it gets really hot, I sleep under a wet sheet. That's my other technique.
What? You sleep under a wet sheet?
That's not healthy.
What the fuck?
How about no?
With a big bucket of water under the desk with my feet in the bucket of water.
Option number two, soak your feet in a bucket of water while you're sitting at home all day long. Also, no, B, I know your house fucking stinks. It smells like wet feet and BO because you're not wearing deodorant and you don't have air conditioning, and I know you're sitting in the house sweating your ass off 24/7. No, I'm not doing it. And option number three, I can't believe this is real.
Including, would you believe it, painting windows with yogurt.
Window cheese.
Actual window cheese.
Or, alternatively, get AC.
I could imagine, okay, blackout curtains, right? I can imagine blackout curtains being okay. Because it's like, oh, you're keeping the sun out. It keeps the house cooler, maybe, but like, don't do this.
I just, how are you this
It's gotta smell so bad in there.
Your solution, rather than just admitting the Americans are onto something with this air conditioning shit, is to smear yogurt on your fucking windows. You want to make window cheese rather than just turn on an air conditioner. How do you not see how fucking insane that sounds? Like, one of your biggest talking points is air conditioning is expensive. How expensive is it to smear a new layer of yogurt on all the windows on your house and then have your house...
That's actually true. I wonder how much money it costs to do that every day. With the cost of like food and stuff going up as well, I imagine it'd be like more money.
Smell like curdled milk and still be hot as shit. I can't even begin to fathom the amount of desperation and misery the person that figured this out was experiencing. Do you know how fucking hot and sweaty and delirious you have to be sitting at home in your living room on the couch for you to finally go, I gotta do something. I'm gonna try smearing yogurt on my windows.
Are you okay?
I'm fine. I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Like, what are you doing? Just get an air conditioner, for the love of God. Oh my God. At this point, I'm convinced that air conditioning...
This is disgusting.
Hold on, wait.
It's awful in every way.
Wait,
if I
hold
could
on.
kill it, I would. But I legally can't. But I've considered it.
Yeah. Just, I wish I had the lady up, but it's okay.
I'm convinced that air conditioning could prevent World War III if you guys would just do it. No wonder you guys are always starting world wars and dragging us into it. You're all fucking grumpy and hot 24/7. Get some AC
You're pissed
and
off.
come up with a peace treaty. I don't ever want to hear a European talk shit about America being dumb ever again. They always love to bring up like, oh, America has a bunch of gun violence, blah, 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 blah. Cool. More people are dying because you refuse to use air conditioning than Americans are dying from gun violence, all right? And by a lot. It's not even close. Europe is losing 175,000 people a year. To put that into perspective, America had roughly 60,000 people die in the Vietnam War. How do you not see how insane that is? Air conditioning at this point is like the cheapest, most cost-effective, life-saving technology on the planet, and you're just like, nah, I don't want it. And the most beautiful part about all this is I know for a fact there's going to be a ton of keyboard warriors with a bunch of stupid talking points and smug comments in the comment sections. And it's going to get clipped and put on Twitter and Instagram and all these other places. And it's going to be all these comments. And you know what? None of those comments would be possible
don't even have AC.
without air.
Wait, what? I thought that they had AC in like certain stores and stuff, like big places like Walmarts and stuff like that over there. Imagine going to that hospital for heat stroke and find out it's hotter inside the hospital.
All these comments, and you know what? None of those comments would be possible without air conditioning, because without air conditioning, the internet that you're using wouldn't function, and the phone you're holding in your hand wouldn't have been able to get manufactured. You are proving my point that air conditioning is the most important invention of the 21st century, and if you don't have some, you should get some, and that's all I gotta say about that. Thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch, maybe drink some Echelon. Links to both of those available over at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang out.
What an insane video. I have to read some of these comments. Fuck Celsius, I don't care how water feels about the weather outside, has got to become a shirt. Was in UK and France during June this year whenever it was hitting 100 plus Fahrenheit in Paris. I said multiple times, I don't think you can be a first world nation and not have air conditioning. This is unacceptable. Well then, I'm sure that in the comments of this video we will have some people talk about it. Oh boy! This is good though. It was a good video. I hope y'all liked it. If you did like it, subscribe if you're not already. And let us know if we should react to more Fat Electrician or Fat Files videos in the comments. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye!
Bye!